for perfection. You never quite achieve it, but I keep trying. But meanwhile, we're talking about this auction. We're talking about this collection of hardware that we've been looking at, and I keep referencing back to this 80-20 theory, which says 20% of what you're looking at represents 80% of the value. And that also relates to what I'm doing with these videos, if you notice, because I'm kind of going from one thing to another to another. But I find 20% of your energy, your efforts, generates 80% of potential results. So, if you take your work day, divide it into 5 parts, you can put 20% energy into 5 different projects, and basically you're generating 80% of potential results as if you spent the whole day working on any one of those projects. So that's kind of the way I go after things. And we'll see how we do with these videos, because I could split them up and take one thing and take it from beginning to end, but that's not the way I work, so I'm just going to show you what we do. All right. Next on this hardware, which is some pretty nice hardware. I mean, this guy was buying hardware. He had, I think, 2, if not 3 big houses, and he was buying it for his house, but he liked to collect it. He bought some great stuff. I mean, he bought some low-end stuff, but that's the point. We all do. Okay? And so the other part of this video project it's just one aspect of what I'm hoping is going to be an interesting project where when I say we, just not just me, but all you viewers, you guys that are watching this and interested in antiques people want to participate. I mean, we could build a really cool thing on the blockchain, okay? Because that's where the world is going, to the blockchain. So that's what I'm interested in. Anybody who's interested in that, give me a call. So meanwhile, while I'm doing this project, you got to start at the bottom, because let's face it, 99.9% of people in the antiques business never heard of the blockchain. And 100% don't give a rat's ass. So you have to, if you want to do something, you have to start from the bottom. Start from scratch. LOL. Anyway, so to do that, one of the things I am talking about doing is writing a bi-weekly column for the local paper about antiques. Because, we live right here 5 miles from absolutely the greatest antique show on the planet. And, I've written a lot of books and stuff, so it's easy enough for me to generate, print stuff. And so I wrote him a few sample stories. And one of them was, believe it or not, the whole 80-20 concept of evaluating a collection, not just doorknobs, but anybody's collection. But because I had doorknobs, I kind of used that. But anyway, the 80-20, and then how do you divide it up? Okay, so as I wrote that story, I came up with a couple of interesting sort of, not insights, because I mean it's something I've known about a long time. But when you're writing along, it's like, yeah, you ought to mention this, you ought to mention that. So I want to go over those, because in this collection is exactly. I come face to face with both of those incidents in this collection, and then let's just see what happens. So one of them is, what happened was, I'm looking at, these are all the better doorknobs, right? We've been looking at these. I mean, there's some nice stuff here. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what? I need to pick one that's going to be the, kind of like the logo for the New Year's Day sale, one that's going to go on the homepage of the auction and all that. So what one would you pick? Well, guess what one I picked? I picked this guy right there. I just think that's pretty dramatic. Okay, that's going to make a great image. So couple of things I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, that also, I mean, all those dark lines, that's all dirt and grime in there. Okay. So I could take that and give it the old cleaning routine, and that thing would come up nice and clean. But you know what? I'm not going to do that because I like it like this. I mean, it makes that guy look much fiercer, right? And hey, this is the way this doorknob is. This is what we call as found condition. And the guy that bought it, and I sold this. I don't know when, but I remember selling this doorknob, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm sure it's one I sold. But he bought it like this. He didn't clean it. And so whoever buys it next, hey, if they want to clean it, fine. But maybe they just want to leave it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking, okay, this would be a great doorknob. And I'm holding it like this, thinking about it. I flip it over, looking at the backside. Nice color, nice everything. I flip it around. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at this. All buggered up back here, right? And now I remember this one. I mean, somebody like mashed that shank. Well, you know what happens? This is on a door, and you keep opening and closing the door, and then it's a mirror. I don't know. Lots of times that bangs up the front too, but something gave that thing a whack. And so where are we? And the aspect of this and what I wrote about was, okay, I have this in my top 2020 pile, but because I put good value on it. But the deal is, hey, this thing has some serious damage. So when the person bought it, they might have said, hey, I always wanted one, and I can live with this in the back. And even though it's way expensive, I'm going to step up, pay the money because I always wanted it. Okay, fine, it's in your collection. But now when you go to sell it, what happens? You try to pass this on to the next guy. I mean, he's liable to say, what the hell is this? Okay? So, in my story, I said, all right, what do? You put this in the 80% pile. Well, guess what? I'm not doing that. I'm putting that right back in my 20% pile because I like it. We're going to see what happens. But now I don't know if I want to use it for the main picture or not because of that damage. Because, I don't want to over promote something that really has a pretty serious apology. But that was incident number one. Number two, we talk about rare things, okay? And if you're a serious collector, and I don't care what you collect, there's a good chance that you go down the road, you're going to find things and you're going to recognize them as something really special. It's like, wow, look at this. Like, I've never seen this. Nobody's seen this before. And this fills this gap of knowledge. And I mean, this thing is, whatever I'm looking at, I know that this is a really important thing. Okay? Well, okay, so that's great. You put it in your collection. You're proud to have it. It looks good. You tell everybody, hey, look at this. Man, look at this rare, whatever, and you explain it to them. Okay, when you go to sell your collection, guess what? The only other guy in the world who gives a rat's ass, he just sent his collection to me to resell it for him, okay? So, here's a perfect example. Is this guy right there? Because I remember selling this doorknob, and this is a rare doorknob. This is like 1860 American. I mean, this decoration on the porcelain is I don't know. I've only seen that a couple of times. It's under the glaze here, and this is hand painted onto the glaze. Has a brass shank, which is interesting. Somebody's buggered it up, the shank, but that is really not a big issue. Trying to take the pin out, but that is a very rare doorknob, as are these guys here. The same thing, this early decoration, and this one as well. I really think, I believe that this one, see, you can see that very light kind of peachy looking look under there. I mean, it's very similar to that one, and it has the weight. This one somebody buggered up the shank also. Yeah, but that's not such an issue. Okay, so all of that, all those pieces right there, this stuff I mean, those are rare. I call them history knobs. Webb Wilson's history knobs, and guess what? Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. But I put them in my good pile because I care, and I'm going to promote them, and we're going to see what happens. So I mean, like that's a good one. It's not particularly old, but I always like that design. I sold almost every one of these. Um, this one is cool. I mean, I always liked it. I liked it anyway. I always thought that was a neat design. They're European. They're not that old. Here's a guy you ought to recognize, huh? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The old boy himself. Again, topical. I don't think it's going to bring much in the auction, but so there you go. So there's two things to think about, and I guess the big takeaway is, hey, do what you believe. That's what makes this business great. I mean, everybody in this business does it the way they think it should be done, and yet we all understand one another in the sense of what we're all trying to accomplish each individually, and it works great. And if anybody dropping back to the blockchain, if anybody out there understands it, that's called a DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which these crypto guys, crypto bros, think they kind of discovered that. But the antiques business is the oldest, the biggest, and the very best DAO ever put together. So we'll have a lot more to say on that later, and we're going to go on and check out some more of the stuff in this sale. So thanks for watching, and guess what? Keep singing the old ones.